Republicans are attempting to make it harder to vote for ballot measures. This is more likely in response to the recent passing of ballot measures involving progressive issues such as abortion rights, raising the minimum wage. Florida, we see you. Y'all, we old enough to remember what happened in Florida, even though President Donald J. Trump won the primary there, or won that state. The ballot measure still it succeeded. Why? Because people understand raising the minimum wage is important. When he won the state of Florida, they still voted for that measure. Expanding Medicaid and the legalization of marijuana. So Republicans are doubling down on making it harder for citizens to weigh in, especially in states where they do have the power of referendum. And this is happening all over the country, as I said. Let's take a look at this. During the legislative session in 2022, 109 bills were filed in state legislatures to alter the citizen-led ballot initiative process. 58 would explicitly have made the process more difficult, according to a review by the Ballot Initiative Strategy Center, which works with progressive organizations to help advance ballot measures. And thank you, Adam, from NBC News, for your reporting on that. Republicans, yes, Republican legislators seeking to restrain the placement of such ballot initiatives, including ones that would amend state constitutions, have already pre-filed at least 11 such measures in at least 3 states ahead of 2023 legislative sessions that kick off in January and February, according to a review by NBC News. Now, my great state of Ohio, they all up in it too. They were doing this kind of stuff when I was in the Senate. They're still doing it. They have extra supermajorities in both chambers. They had supermajorities when I was there. They have extra supermajorities now. So it's kind of like unchecked power. But in Ohio, Republicans are pushing for the threshold to pass a ballot initiative to 60%, as opposed to a simple majority. I want you to imagine that if in 2011, when we were in this state beating back the right to work for less policy that passed the legislature, we had power referendum in this state. Imagine if that law was in place, we might not have been successful. So you see what they're doing? Because the voters overturned Senate Bill 5, which would have taken away collective bargaining rights in this state. The voters of the state of Ohio say, oh, hell no, not on our watch, you won't do it. And see, Republicans are continuously trying to take away the voices of the people. But I want you to understand, there are real life and death and challenging consequences tied to what they are doing. And this isn't in response to what the GOP in my state are doing right now. This is in response to efforts from abortion rights activists to end the 6-week and 22-week abortion bans in my state. Ohio Republican Secretary of State Frank LaRose claims he is protecting the state's constitution from special interests. Now, I served in the legislature with Frankie, and I just cannot believe that as Secretary of State, he is doing this. He's not in the legislature anymore. His goal should be to expand and protect, but oh no, he's doing it this way. The Ohio legislature, in which Republicans hold a supermajority in both chambers, and as I said, an extra supermajority in both chambers because of heavy gerrymandered maps, is scheduled to take up the measure when its session begins next month. For shame. He wants to protect the state constitution from special interests. Aren't they, the Republicans, doing the bidding of other types of special interests? So my special interests can have access, but your special interests cannot. I see how this works. Wise, I'm having a moment here.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing there with these maneuvers by the GOP over there in places like Ohio and all over the nation, quite frankly, is that they know that a lot of their agenda is not even popular with their own base, right? So a supermajority of Republicans don't think there should be things like an outright ban on abortion, much less, Democrats and, vis-a-vis the citizenry at large. So there's an understanding of that. And I think these people really do believe in minority rule. They think that they should come down from on high like Moses with the commandments and just grant us all an edict. We shouldn't have a right or a say so in the things that we believe in, and certainly shouldn't be able to do that via ballot measure. And the last thing that strikes me, Nina, is the GOP inclination to, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And, which is so opposite of what we see from the Dems, which is just any roadblock becomes an excuse not to do things that benefit their citizens. The GOP will take an opposite stance. They're just like, no, we're gonna lie, cheat, steal our way to whatever result we think we want.
Yeah, Wise, you lay that out. If you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. You ain't cheating, and you're right about the Democrats. Any roadblock will do to give them an excuse. And so it's just quite telling that the freedom-loving Republicans are using their political power to trample on other people's freedom. Imagine that. Yeah, it's happening. And Missouri, the great state of Missouri, is also attempting to increase their threshold to 60% as well. South Dakota, North Dakota, and Arkansas failed to increase their thresholds. Currently, Florida is the only state with a 60% threshold for ballot measures. That's what these people are doing. We're going to stay tuned to this. We the people, we got to fight back now.